All right, guys, this is real sweat. I just finished my workout. If you guys don't know already, the workout for today at the gym, or on the gym website, I should say, is Loredo. It's a hero workout. And so as you know, in hero workouts, you're gonna go a little harder, just remembering that, you know, somebody really did pay the ultimate sacrifice, somebody who participated and did the same style of fitness you do, that's CrossFit style training, gave their life to protect others or lived a life of service to others. And so we always go just a little bit harder on these hero workouts. Now, Loredo is a 6-round workout. So 6 rounds might sound like a lot, it might sound like a little. We gotta look at what's listed underneath it. So first things first is you have 24 air squats. Now 24 air squats might not sound like a lot, okay? When you add up the total volume, if you're doing 6 rounds, 24 air squats is really 144 air squats. So this is some good Murph prep, right? So I know that we've got our 2 Murph workouts that are already up on my YouTube channel that are gonna kind of prep you for Murph. But just because we have specific workouts that prep us for Murph doesn't mean that we aren't gonna be doing our additional regular training. We're actually doing our regular training right alongside all of our Murph prep, all of our other things that we do. So those are meant to be supplemental to the full workout programming. So Loredo's got 24 air squats to get you started. Now, after you go 24 air squats, you're gonna go to 24 push-ups, right? The nice thing about push-ups is they're really easy to measure. Is your chest getting to the ground, right? And are your elbows at lockout, okay? So elbows at lockout. So that's a good push-up. If for some reason you can't do a full push-up, you, 1, aren't alone, and number 2, there's an easy way to scale it. You can scale it by raising the floor, okay? By simply going to like a bench or something like that. You could actually stand upright like I am now, lean into a wall and lean forward and press back up if you need something a little bit more remedial. And there's a few options in between where you actually keep the floor where it's at, you go into your normal push-up position, and you actually raise the space between your hands by putting an object, maybe a box, which would be a little difficult, like a thick book, if anybody has those anymore. But the best thing that we found here at the gym is an ab mat. So by putting an ab mat, we actually raise the floor and shorten the range of motion that you need to go to, while still giving you a target to make sure that what you're doing is consistent from a range of motion perspective. And then we can also understand how far we're going down so we can get better and eventually lose the ab mat completely. So after the 24 push-ups, you're gonna go to 24 walking lunges. Just a little something to pre-fatigue the legs before you finish up your first round with a 400-meter run. If you don't have a run where you're at, the nice thing is, we've used this before, but you're gonna run out 1 full minute, turn around and come back 1 full minute, right? But essentially you're running out a minute. You're gonna set a little something, right? A stick, or look for a landmark there on the sidewalk next to you, or a little bush that you can run to, or a street sign, and then turn around and come back. And that'll be the same distance that you use for the rest of the rounds. So yeah, it won't take you a minute to get out there next time. It might take you a minute and 20 seconds, but you want to use that as a way of giving yourself a consistent place to run to, okay? So you're looking at this, maybe you wrote it down, you're looking at the website, it says 6 rounds, 24 air squats, 24 push-ups, 24 lunges, 400-meter walking lunge. And immediately some people are gonna go, I hate running, that's a lot of running. The nice thing about running is if you're running and you decide to stop running, most people don't run, and then when they decide to stop running, they just stand completely still. They actually just start to walk. Now, if you're walking on a 400, the nice thing is you're actually making progress. It might be slow, but you are making progress. You're moving towards your end goal. Now, there's another sticking point on this workout, and it's in the push-up, okay? So when you're doing push-ups, what you have to remember is this is the place where I don't think many people are gonna go unbroken at all. I don't think people are gonna be busting out 6 sets of 24 push-ups with no real rest in between. In fact, filling that time in between push-ups with actual work. So the push-up is the place where most people are gonna fatigue out. And so I want you guys to do is, I want you to be very intentional about your movements, be very intentional about the way you approach this workout. And maybe that means doing something really crazy, and that means doing sets of 4 to 6 reps, right? Because remember, if you do 4 reps, you only have to do it for 6 sets, and then all of a sudden you're done with 24 push-ups. And by doing that, it's gonna allow you to kind of chip away at these things and continue on. So in my time as a competitor, I've always looked at workouts and tried to see where is my personal sticking point, right? Because I have certain deficiencies: GHD sit-ups, running, heavy deadlifts paired with anything midline, right? So I have these different deficiencies, and I want to look at those, but I also want to look at the workout and go, hey, where's everybody going to kind of slow down? And is there a way I can offset that slowing down by being a little smarter? And most of you guys are going to try hard today regardless. So what you can do is you can look and say, hey, these push-ups, if I can strategize these a little better, I'm going to try just as hard as the person next to me or the person working out at their house when I text them later. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you find a strategy that allows you, because you're both working hard, to be working smarter. Okay? You've always heard work harder, not smarter, or then you hear people say work harder and smarter. And that's really what we want to do, is we want to work hard and smart. And when you do that, you finish the same amount of work, you finish more work in the same amount of time, or you finish more work in less time. I think I said that right, but basically you're going to be more efficient, and that increases your fitness, since we're all putting out 100% effort, but by putting out 100% effort with a little bit of strategy behind it, you're going to be a little faster. So in a workout like this, you guys, I really want you to make sure that you don't get lost in the idea that it's just a simple workout without much to really think about. There's a ton to think about. Do I do the 24 air squats, the 24 lunges, and the 400-meter run very fast, and then kind of go really slow on that second movement, the push-up, and kind of that ends up being my recovery, because they're going to be difficult anyway? Or do I do the other three movements kind of slow so I can go fast to the push-up, right? If you're at home, look at my foot, okay? My right foot, my left foot. Pretend that my right foot and my left foot are really my right hand and my left hand, okay? So when I'm doing my air squats, slightly more than shoulder width, okay, about shoulder width, and I may toe out just slightly. From there, if I was thinking about like a pressure plate, and I would want to put the pressure on the outside J on the bottom here, on both sides, where I want to put the pressure, especially in the bottom of my squat, making sure it's kind of here. Now, my toes don't necessarily need to lift. In fact, it kind of bugs me when we start curling our toes up looking like elves, okay? We don't want to do that. But I also don't want to see pressure on the inside top J of each one. That's when the things start to go like here, and our knees could still be driving out, but the pressure's still going in. And then what happens there is the only way we can go out is the hips end up pushing forward towards that gap in between the feet. So that might be a long way to say it. It might be very difficult with my hands for you guys to see, but I think that it will help if you remember that your feet, if these are your feet and you're standing on the screen of the phone, that you want the pressure back here and back here, okay? So here. All right, I know that sounds like maybe nothing to think about. When you're doing 144 squats, you guys really want to make sure that your mechanics are, and they're very consistent. So mechanics and consistency on this workout, far more important than the intensity piece, okay? And it's not until you really get the mechanics and the consistency on those things that that intensity piece should really be hammered home, okay? The walking lunges, make sure you guys, if you can, don't brace on the opposite leg as you stand up and press off this way, okay? So what you want to do is you want to actually support yourself with your own midline, legs, posterior chain, and be able to step and drive all the way through, okay? Boy, I really sweat on this workout. The push-ups, down nice and deep, press nice and tall. Okay, other thing is, don't flare your elbows out like this and start doing this. I had a great conversation with one of our past members, how they had a trainer, or they had taken a local class, and how a trainer had told them that you can't work your chest unless your elbows are flared out, which is just complete. It wasn't actually the right thing for that person to say. Okay, so from there, guys, the only thing really to think about is your running technique. Try to run efficiently. I give you guys a little bit of running technique. I'm not the best coach of that stuff, but there's some great videos out there on YouTube about the posed running method, essentially making yourself into a figure four. You guys can't really see that well, and kind of falling forward, but not from the hip, but from the ankle, to let your weight kind of carry you through the 400-meter run. What I want you guys to work on for me is a consistent running pace that allows you guys to recover enough to attack the movements that are done either in your garage, in your living room, or in the gym, okay? So that's Loredo, 6 rounds of 24 air squats. It's a push up, right? So you push in the up direction, but 24 push-ups on the ground and 24 walking lunges. So knee touches the ground, come up, okay? And then a 400-meter run. We did program in 96 double unders in case there's anybody out there who happens to not have any place to run, but does have a jump rope. If you guys aren't sure, because you don't have a jump rope either, you can maybe sub out the 96 double unders for like 250 single unders. If you don't have that, just think of something that's aerobic that would take about that amount of time. Okay, you guys have fun with this workout. Don't overlook it. It's a great workout to do, especially if you're in an equipment-free location, but do have access to some outdoor running space. All right, guys.